Hey, sorry about that mess. Bam, my uniforms. There we go. And Gazoo is live from Mizzou. Take that, bitch. Anyhow, this is the same room we had that prolific draft. Paul D and I picked the team in Yahoo. And okay, the point of this is to start getting better as far as summarizing and not roaming on these videos because I look them over and I realize that that was kind of self-serving and that's not what I'm trying to do here. So that being said, I almost wasted already a minute. But anyhow, the point of this video is top 10 concerts Gazoo has ever seen live in person. I saw a lot of great bands, including Led Zeppelin, Elton John, The Queen, Who, uh, the Boss. You know that guy Bruce. Saw him numerous times. Allman Brothers, Skinner, and the Eagles. And the top 10 shows I saw, only four of those bands are on that list. So let me tell you that there's some superior amount of concerts. A lot of concerts went to, some in better shapes than others, but memories live on, be them 100% real or imagined or whatever. But here goes number 10. I'm going to start with 10 first. EL&P, my first show I ever saw in 1971 with Phil Hamilton and Scott Hubbard, my good jock buddies from high school, great guys. And we happened to see EL&P in that dungeon known as New Haven Arena. Oh boy. And that was an awakening that night. I think I was a junior in high school, so I was a slow starter, but there's some pretty burnt years. Pretty burnt years. Number nine is going to be a surprise. This is revised on my list. I put the Vivaldi concert we went to in Italy. Um, it was quite good. It was in a church, and Carrie and I and a bunch of people from our tour group went to this fantastic classical concert, and it was in a church in Venice. What church? I could not tell you at the moment. But anyhow, it cracked my top 10. That's how special it was and how it sent a shiver down my spine. Okay, next. Number 8, The Who at Boston Garden. Um, the Who. Let's talk about one of the most prolific rock bands of all times, legendary, very noteworthy, trend-setting, whatever you want to call. And the band by the name of PFM. It was an Italian band, progressive rock. I can't remember the three gents' name. Marconi was one of them, but the other two, anyhow, they made some really hardcore music back then. Number 6, this was in Springfield, Mass. Rod Stewart and Faces, one band. Bad Company. I mean, come on, Bad Company was bad. They were awesome. Very fantastic. A big favorite of mine. And Thin Lizzy. What can I say? I could do this whole video on Thin Lizzy, but I'm not going to do it. But to say that I got my socks rocked off that night. They say, how's that expression go? On a night, you're going to get your socks knocked off. Well, they were gone, and my feet, and my legs. That was a rock concert. Number 5, the Doobie Brothers in the Tower Theater in Philly. Now, special arena, Doobies, very hot at the time, and they had a band that's just coming up that went in front of them by the name of Billy Joel, the Piano Man. First and last time Gabi saw the Piano Man when his first album was out, more or less, like in the early 70s. Number 4, the Allman Brothers in Boston Garden. Back to the Garden. That's 2 concerts at the Garden. Anyhow, I never saw a sporting event. Fun fact: never saw a Celtic game, never saw a Bruin game. But rock concerts, yeah, I've seen some. They were all they were all special. And Leonard Skinner. You've heard of Leonard Skinner, probably. Yeah. If you listen to rock music, if you listen to Southern rock, if you talk about legendary and special, and very new at that time, but still, come on now. What a show. Number three, going back to the home state, Waterbury, Connecticut. Queen opening up a show, opening up a show for Mott Hoople. And Gabi was into Mott big time. Barely heard of Queen except for a hot single they had out, Keep Yourself Alive. Oh my God, that was a rock masterpiece. It still is. That leaves two bands on this list. One of them definitely not mainstream, but I'm glad this is only 5.5 minutes. You can do it, Gabi, and I'll get the message across. Hardcore rock guy, saw a lot of concerts in the day, trying to memorialize it, trying to write about it, trying to talk about it, just so that's there in case I was, a little cool, a little soft. Next, the Tubes. The freaking Tubes. Bottom line, New York City, the Tubes. That's all I can. What can I tell you? Glam rock, punk rock, whatever it was. Oh my God, that was special. It was quite. All things considered, I was there with my good buddy Johnny Horn. Had a fine time. It was a late show. The show didn't even start like at 12 at night. Drove into the city. In those days, you didn't stay overnight. You winged it, and we winged it. We sat at a cabaret seat, had a little something to eat. Gabi had a little get up on. It was really good. Number one, Led Zeppelin at Boston Garden with Donnie Jacobs and Cash. They were nice enough to invite me. They were making a run to Beantown. They heard that Zepp was in town. Would you like to go? Yeah, hell yeah. We drove there, same thing, drove up, got there right in time for the show, went to our seats. Didn't go to our seats, shall I say, invented a seat, went right on the floor, stood up, probably standing on chairs. You had no doubt we stood on chairs, standing next to this little waif of a woman who had her little baby in her papoose. And she was smoking weed, the girl. And then every now and then, she put that roach clip up to the baby's mouth. Not right. Did I think it was funny? Not really. Was I just looking at it like, am I really seeing this? Yeah. Whew. Imagine how that kid turned out. But nonetheless, great concert. Robert Plant right there, maybe 20 feet away. I'm talking near the stage, dude. 20, 30 feet max. And we were rocking out, and it was just Zepp didn't have a band in front of them. When you saw Led Zeppelin, it was Led Zeppelin. Hold up, here goes. Here comes enough to freaking like a locomotive working its way through the Coliseum. Oh my God. All right, one other thing I want to mention. It's only 8.5 minutes, so there were a lot of bands that I saw that I thought were going to be spectacular or something that would just something I would never forget, and it wasn't there. It wasn't all that. I guess it wasn't my jam. But we saw a lot of concerts, and we Carrie and I continue to enjoy music, and I have this uh, uh, ability to listen to all sorts of music at my house on these teeny little speakers on my surround sound. I got one decent sized speaker in the front, and I have a woofer on sitting on the floor in the back, and these teeny little speakers that you would wonder where's that noise coming from? These little powerhouse things, like a little bit bigger than a baseball, I'd say. They're small but squarish. But holy shit. Poke audio. You know what the fuck you doing. You're good. So one last mention here. Did I mention the Cars? I skipped past the Cars. Team number 7. And we saw them at the Shabu, and my brother, Guy Marconi and myself. I've talked about this too many times on the videos, but let's just suffice it to say that we made a road trip from the shoreline of Connecticut to the hinterlands of uh, the state and saw a show and came back the next night. But it was something that I'll always remember. And the Cars, one of the Hall of Fame. But I didn't really make a list here for Rock and Roll Hall of Fame people, but they're all there. And I was not far away from these people, sometimes inches away. I mean, a way to, connive and moving up and getting a bird's eye view. But I saw Kiss. Getting long story short, Kiss is, a stage show thing, right? But my God, that was really awesome. I was pretty mesmerized by the Kiss show. Was my head in the right space to further exemplify the mood? Yeah. So whatever. But anyhow, that's all I got. I got it down to 11 out. Next up, best sports venues I've been to. Out.